Hey everybody, I'm so excited to have you join me live. Or if you're watching the replay, give us a thumbs up if you're on the replay. I have my friend, an amazing challenge integrator here to share some of her tips. This is Sarah Bonneville, and she is from SKE Media.
Creative media.
Creative media. I was like, creative media. Okay, there we go. And she's incredible. She has done this within the last year, over $300,000 in launch revenue from challenges. So she is going to be dishing on some of the things that go into making an awesome challenge launch. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! So let's just get like right down and dirty with it. First of all, I have a bunch of questions lined up. I know that we jammed on them already, but I just want to know first off, what do you think are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people make with challenge launches? Because I know that there's actually like a lot that goes into creating a really profitable challenge launch, and it can seem easier than it actually is.
Yeah, that's a really great question. The thing that I find people make the most mistakes with is they give too much content.
Yeah.
And so they put so much into the challenge that at the end, their people are like, this is the best challenge ever. I got so much out of this, but I'm good. I don't need to buy.
Yeah, I'm done now. Bye.
Yeah, I got what I needed.
It's the wrong kind of buy. It's bye-bye, not like
yeah,
bye,
exactly.
bye.
Yeah, not money buy.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
totally see that too. And I heard somebody the other day say that it's like an overstuffed burrito. It's like when like we just feel like, it's that scarcity thing where we're like, we're just going to put more into it. So it's more awesome. More people love it. But then it's like trying to eat the Chipotle burrito. And at the end, you're like, oh, I feel awful. And it's the same kind of thing. Hey, Christy. Hey, Carrie. Yes, this is such a common thing. I know that Sarah's seen it all the time. I see it all the time. So pare it back. Do the counterintuitive thing.
Yeah. It sounds, like we put so much into these challenges because we're like, we need people to really like them, to get the most out of them. So at the end, they want to buy from us, but it actually doesn't make them want to buy from us. It just makes them be like, I'm good. I got what I needed out of the free stuff. Now I'm moving on.
It's so true. It's so true. And I would say one of the other big mistakes is totally related to that. Hey, Kay. It's where people are not creating the gap, where they just have so much content in there and then they don't lead that to what their actual program needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep, agreed. At the end, if you ran this challenge and then you say, I have this product, but your product is not actually related to your challenge, people are like, but I just did this challenge, so now I don't understand. Like, they don't see you as, offering that. They know you're an expert in this, what you did the challenge in, but if it doesn't match your program, they're going to leave confused. And confused people don't buy.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I see that a lot too. Is there a way that you recommend to sort of overcome that? Because I think they think of a great challenge idea and they're like, I'm just going to do that. Oh, you're happy. No problem. You're late, Kay. Girl, we're just jamming now. Like we just jumped on 4 minutes ago. We just got really like down and dirty with it right away. What would you say is one of the best ways to try and solve that stumbling block that people are coming across where they're like, I'm just going to jam it full of crap, great crap, but it's actually going to lead them off in the wrong direction from where my program needs to go?
I say like start at your program, look at what it is, and then take just a sliver of it. It's like just a little teaser, right? You don't need to have a ton of your program in it, but just look at, like what in your program you could take like a small piece of so you can put it out there, because the idea is at the end, they're like, I loved this challenge so much that it makes me want to have more. And then when you present your offer, it's already been a part of your program. So they're like, I see it. That's exactly what I need.
I love it. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of challenges that my clients have the most success with, is if you just break off a piece of something that you already have. And that's the cool thing, is you might have done the work already. It might actually make a less challenging challenge for you.
Yeah, exactly. If you're already using some of your program, just like a small piece of your program, then, essentially your challenge is already written.
Yeah. And that is so important. What would you say? So I feel like when I see challenges, some of the time the promise is like so big, and I'm like, there's no way that's going to happen in 5 days. Do you see that too?
Yes, quite a bit. People, I mean, it goes with putting too much content in, right? They're like, I need to show, like, the way that I bring my audience in is by offering this huge quantum leap transformation in 3 to 5 days. And it's like, that doesn't happen. So I definitely, yeah, that's where like taking that little sliver of your program, the little teaser, and being like, what realistically can they get out of 3 to 5 days that is going to feel really valuable to them, that's going to feel like they've made a leap, but it's not, it's not out of the question, and it's just easier for them to look at your program and be like, now there's the end piece.
Yeah, exactly. Because I find that a lot of people they want so bad to want to give that change, but it's almost like they promise the results of their entire program instead of just realizing that the challenge should be just like a little wee bit of it, like you were saying, just that little delicious taste.
Exactly. I mean, if you're a business coach and at the end of your program you say, okay, you're going to be able to start your business, that's not where the end of your challenge should be. Realistically, is somebody going to be able to do 5 days worth of a free content and come out with a fully fledged business? Probably not.
Yeah, if that's possible, like sign me up. I should
No
have done
kidding.
that years ago,
I
please.
want to do that free challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I find one thing that is good for people to remember is remember that acronym SMART, where it's like SMART, a specific, measurable, attainable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And I feel like if we use that as a guide, it's really helpful to remember to help us stay on track for what we actually want to do with our challenges, because it reminds people like, okay, it actually has to be super specific. It's not going to be how to start your business. It's going to be how to find your niche, how to speak to your ideal clients, or whatever that is. Like, break that down into like this little tiny fraction that you can actually get a result from, instead of this like big like thing that is just not going to be happening.
Exactly, because the worst thing would be at the end, you've given so much of yourself, you've put so much out, you're burnt out, and people are like, well, I didn't get the result that you said, so therefore I don't want to buy.
Yeah, exactly. Because you set up the expectation for something that's completely unrealistic for what you can do. So if you actually give a really tiny package, it's like you can deliver that package in your pocket in 5 days.
Exactly.
I have a couple questions coming in here. I'm just going to see if they are related to what we're talking about right now. So Carrie says, my program is a 6-week strength and macro nutrition coaching program for female runners called Runners Metabolic Reboot. Oh, I like the name. Right now I have 5-day strength workout challenge. I give 5 full workouts. Then I enter the metabolic reboot, but it feels misaligned somehow. That's a good thing. Okay, 5 workouts too much? Want to talk about that? Let's break that down with exactly how we're talking about it. Feeling inspired to work out. Yes. Okay. That's great. Sarah implements this, and she actually, because you do a lot of workout stuff too, Sarah. So this is probably a really good thing for you to talk about. You're like qualified in both areas.
Yeah, that's true. I would say if you're doing like 5 days full workouts, that might be too much. I mean, I've actually done little mini health challenges, and we're looking back at like the tiny little teaser piece. Like maybe like a full workout is too much, but can you do
like a 10-minute or something workout where it's like people can actually do like it without feeling like overwhelmed or something?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, if they're going from like free challenges are miniature, right? So what you want to have them do each day will be miniature, because as soon as they invest in your program, then immediately their motivation to actually do it is going to be higher. But when they're not paying for it, realistically, can you get them to do a 30-minute workout or a bigger workout? Probably not, right? You're thinking of like, you got to start small. So if maybe you do like a 5-minute mini workout challenge or something like that, and it leads into it. Can you read the other part of that? She said it feels misaligned.
Yep. So right now I have a 5-day strength workout challenge. I give 5 full workouts. So I feel like the word full is exactly what you're talking about, where it's like giving the mini workouts. Then I intro the metabolic reboot, but that feels misaligned. So I'm wondering if there's something about the metabolic reboot, because you do nutrition coaching as well, Carrie. It says in the other one, macronutrition coaching. So I feel like maybe you're just talking about the physical side and you're not talking about the nutrition side. Can you actually just rip a piece of that, like we were talking about, from your actual program and use that as your challenge? Or if you have like, sorry, this is gonna be messy, but I have it written here. It's just conveniently. If say that you have like 5 parts of your program, if you just pull one of them to be like, let's do a little bit of nutrition this day, and maybe let's do a little mini workout here, and then sort of a combination of the few different things for the 5 different days, that could give you more alignment because you're actually incorporating what sounds like more of your program into the challenge itself.
Yeah, that'll make it like an easier transition when at the end of your challenge, you present the program, people are already kind of on board with what you're offering, right? Because you want it to flow.
And I like what Ali said. People should be inspired and excited to work out. So I think that that's such a great thing that you can. Oh yeah, and Carrie says, I think that's the issue. Thanks. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, it's really great when you're able to reuse what you have. And I think one of the biggest things that I see, and I think, Sarah, we've jammed on this before, is that it's not always the physical stuff that they get out of a challenge that makes it so powerful. It's the internal belief in themselves that they can do this.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. I mean, it's one thing to be like, okay, at the end you have your business niche, or you're suddenly like, you've done 5 workouts, but it's not really that accomplishment. It's that, I mean, now they believe in themselves and you help them believe in themselves. So therefore they now, like if we're thinking about know, like, and trust, they now see you as an expert. They now trust you because you helped them with that belief. They saw in themselves, hey, I can do this for 5 minutes a day, and you help me to be able to do that.
Yeah, so therefore they're like, girl, I keep needing you in my life. Like, I got to keep you around somehow. How can I do that?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's like, ta-da, here it is. So, Sarah, what are the big moving pieces? Because I know that you do, as a launch integrator, like you're in the trenches, you're doing the stuff to actually make this all come together. And there's a lot of pieces. Can you give us like just a rundown of like the big main parts of a challenge launch?
Yes, that's a big question.
But you're the best at it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there are a few things that are kind of a must to make it go. I always recommend a Facebook group, whether you have an established one or you make a pop-up group. You can do it, over email or over Instagram or something, but the Facebook group is really where it's at, because that's where you're going to get the most engagement. You can like actually get in there. They can see that you're a person and you're not just words. So yeah, start it. Like, the Facebook group is a must. Emails are, great if you have a list. You need, I'm trying to like give just the basics. So I'm thinking this through as I say these things.
I would say like you can get away with just one landing page, like just one main landing page for your challenge, which is nicer than like a 3-video launch where some people are doing like multiple landing pages. Like you can just streamline that into just one, which is helpful.
Yeah. Landing page is a must because, I mean, you have to get people to sign up. they have to go somewhere to sign up. So yeah, landing page.
And don't just send them to your free group, guys. Get their email, because Facebook boo-boos happen. Like, we've all been at the brunt of it. That's why I have a brand new page, because Facebook shut down my page for no freaking reason. So I'd see people with challenges sending them right to the Facebook group because they want people there. But yeah, get the email, please, for your own good.
And really, I mean, to do a challenge launch, it's the easiest way to start building up your followers and your list in all these areas, because they sign up with their email, suddenly they're on your email list. You get them into the Facebook group, well, now they're part of your Facebook followers. And then from there, you can put things out, like they'll find you on Instagram. So, I mean, that one landing page is kind of your ticket to gaining all these different things. You want to start an email list?
Yeah.
Easy.
It's and because it's so high touch, I find people are more likely to sign up with their real email address instead of their junk email address. Because, we've all had those landing pages where it's like Barbara's junk email at gmail.com. And you're like,
yeah.
But
exactly.
Because it's like such a high impact thing. Oh my gosh, Facebook's at my page. Oh, Suzanne, I'm so sorry. It sucks so bad. Sorry, I just saw that. And I'm like, oh no. So yeah, definitely. This is actually one thing I love about challenge launches, you guys, is that it's actually one of the launches that works best with a small audience, whereas a lot of other launches works better with a larger audience. So this is so cool. Even if you have a small audience in a challenge launch, this is actually one of your best things.
Yeah, exactly, because it's so easy to engage. It gets the highest engagement. You don't get the same engagement when you do just a webinar, or if you're doing a video series. Like, those are great and they definitely have a place. But I mean, I like the challenge launch because it can work with a small audience and a big audience. Like, there's no better way to get engagement than the challenge launch. And that's what you need. Like, if somebody's going to buy, they're much more likely to buy from you if you've been engaging with them and they feel like they know you.
It's that relationship piece, which is so, so, so important, so powerful. And I think it's so fun as well. Like, you feel actually like super connected with your audience and everything, and they get to know you, you get to know them. Like, you actually have like your real people. Like Sarah was saying, it's not like you're just words on a page. Like, they know what you sound like. They see you on video. They see you talk with your hands like a crazy person.
Exactly.
And that relationship is just like irreplaceable.
Yeah. And it's what you need when, like, at the end, when you go to pitch it, like, people are not surprised. And like, it makes the decision just so much more, like, I mean, they don't think about it as much. Right?
Yeah. I feel like there's way less hesitation, and the conversion tends to be a lot higher than on a regular like video launch or something like that.
Yep, 100%. Because on a video launch, they can watch the videos and then they can just sidle away. But I mean, if
you didn't see anything. Oh wait, there I am.
Exactly. I'm not there anymore. But when you're actually there, like, face to face with them, then, they're picking up on your energy. They're also picking up on everybody else on the call's energy. And then, people just kind of feed off each other.
Yes, I think that's one of the best things about it, is when you have the Facebook group, is you get watching other people succeed, and watching everyone else's enthusiasm is so infectious. So they really it creates this whole sort of like happy vortex where it's like people are pushing each other on. They don't want to miss that. They don't want to miss out on that. So when you actually go to offer your program, people are like, hell yeah, I want to keep this going on. Like, I want to keep this party train rocking.
Exactly. And that's what you need. I mean, I just did a launch a week or two ago. And it was like a 4-day challenge. She ended with a webinar, and like, it blew me away because, I mean, she gets people to sign up on a call, and it was like, at the end when she presented it, so many people were jumping in, and then so many people were picking up on their energy, being like, oh, all those people want to book a call, so now I have to book a call. And she kept having to open up spots and extend her day because so many people were like, I want to do it, because everybody else was so excited about it. Therefore, they thought they had to be excited about it too.
I love that. It's like social proof is just like, bam, right there in front of them that they can't escape.
Yeah, exactly. And she didn't even have to do anything. People just like were excited with each other.
I love that it really has its own energy that it's really hard to replicate with other launches. Like you're not going to get that if you only do a webinar launch. Like there's only so much enthusiasm that happens with people who've only met each other for like 30 minutes. If they've been together for 5 days going through a huge transformation, it's like they're connected.
Yeah.
So I have some really great questions that have rolled in that I want to toss your way.
Okay.
Let me see here. Okay. Brittany Bird asked us on Instagram, how do I get more people to sign up for my challenge? So I specifically asked what she's doing already. I think she's mainly focusing on organic. I don't think she's doing many ads for it lately. So yes, organic posts. She has really great results with her challenge. It's just getting people into the challenge in the first place that she is challenged by.
Yeah. I mean, and ads make it faster, but you can definitely do it organically. The thing that people forget is they make a post, they do they put it on their stories and then they let it go. But you need to be putting it out a lot and all over the place. So, making Facebook posts, making Instagram newsfeed posts, putting it on your stories. If you have an email list, IGTV, whatever you can, and keep doing it like every single day, multiple times a day. And don't be afraid that you're going to annoy people, because the thing is, inevitably you're going to annoy some people, but those people are not your ideal clients. So it doesn't really matter if they get into your challenge anyway. Your ideal clients are going to look and be like, I'm so excited, I have to do this. But I mean, the thing, everybody talks about the algorithm. So your ideal clients are not going to see all of your posts. It only makes you uncomfortable because you feel like there's so many because you know them all. But chances are not everybody's going to see them all. So keep putting them out and put them everywhere.
And one thing I loved on the challenge you did recently, Sarah, is for everyone who doesn't know, because Sarah does she actually does the physical work of the challenge. She was amazing. She was doing these awesome stories. Like I was binge watching them, even though I knew all of them. I got sucked in, and she was putting them on Insta story. I don't even know how many times a day, but the thing is, every time you post to Insta story, twice a day. Oh, it seemed like even more than that. It bumps you up first in the feed. So it's like every time I looked, there she was, there she was, there she was. So like she was always constantly in that first like little span of people when I want to watch stories. So it's really smart when you just keep posting it. And exactly like Sarah said, you don't see everyone's posts. And it's really funny because Brittany, who asked me this question, it turns out that she had posted about her challenge, I think, on Monday, and I literally just saw this post in the last hour. That was days ago. So don't be shy about posting, because only a small fraction of people are seeing it anyway. And I would say, Brittany, you probably could do ads. Like, I know your business, and I think that that's probably like an important thing. Another thing to think about is, yes, it's a numbers game, but what about your closing rate? So Sarah actually mentioned something already about how challenge launches are really good for sales calls. And your sales call rate close rate is going to be phenomenally higher than if you just send people with emails to a sales page or something. So
yeah, 100%. I mean, as a coach, when you get people on a call, the likelihood that you're going to close them is so much higher, because like I said, if they're just reading off of a page, they're more likely to kind of skim a little bit and then probably close the email. But they can't escape when you get them on a sales call. Mm-hmm. And like I said, as coaches, pretty persuasive. So yeah, the close rate on when you do like application calls or clarity calls or whatever you want to call them, breakthrough calls, is so much higher, because then you're working with them one-on-one, which is what people love and want.
That's exactly it. That's what people are looking for mostly, and they're getting it finally.
Exactly. Then they start seeing you as an expert, and then the choice it's inevitable. They're like, I just already know that I'm going to do it.
Yeah, some people have actually made up their minds before, especially if it's an application call. that raises the stakes even more than like a clarity call, because they're like, okay, like in their mind, they're like, I am applying. They might already have made that decision, which makes it so easy for you, but they might have not made that decision if you hadn't given them essentially an ultimatum, a binary choice. It's like, do you want a call, application call, or are you just gonna like bounce out of my world? So that can be, there's so many little positioning things in here that you can tweak and play around with and test and see what works for your people. But yeah, if you get people on a call, you're going to have a much better conversion rate, as long as you know how to sell. That's another story for another time.
Yeah.
So we've got, oh, great question from Joe for you. She wants to know, can she seed her paid program through the challenge, or should she keep it a surprise in the dark until the very last minute?
This is very opinionated on my part. But at this point in time, we're at the end of 2019, going into 2020, people are not at all surprised at what happens at the end of a challenge. They know. People don't, you don't just give out something free and then that's the end of it. And actually, when I do a free challenge, I don't like to be surprised at the end.
Yeah.
So I say, talk about it. They know what you do. They know where you come from. They know you're a coach, or, a course creator, or whatever you do. So talk about it. Talk about, your client successes. Oh, this happens in my program. You can bring it up on the lives. Talk about it throughout. So then at the end, when you do pitch it, it's not a surprise to them, right? And if they don't like that you talk about your program and that you're pretty, like I have a lot of clients that will go and be like, okay, here's my program. I've talked about it in the other lives. Is it cool with you guys if I pitch it to you? And that gives people, if they don't want to hear it, they can go. But like most of the time, people are like, yeah, tell me, I want to know more about it, because you've already talked about it. They're not surprised. Exactly.
And I love the invitation, because then it's like you're getting permission from people who actually want it anyway. So it's not you feeling like you're forcing it. It's them, you open the door and they're like, yeah, come in, come this way.
Yeah, they're much more receptive because they, like you said, they gave you permission. So now it's like they're asking you for you to talk about your program. And so they're much more receptive to it because they've made the choice.
Yeah.
That they want to listen to it.
Totally. I think it's really important now too. Like back in the day, there was this thing like, hush, hush, like let's pretend that we're not doing anything, but like, let's just be transparent about it.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of seeding, like Sarah says. It's like, oh yeah, in my program, we blah, blah, blah. You don't want to and then it's like, you can remind people like, you know what, like we can talk about that later. Right now, we're just in the middle of the challenge. Like, let's just focus on today. Like right now, we're on day 2. Let's just focus on what's happening right now, because you don't want to deviate people and distract them. You want them getting results, because you want that internal belief shift to happen, and you don't want them thinking about money and all that sort of stuff. So like you can seed it, but if they start getting being like, how much is it? Oh, is there a payment plan? Just be like, no. Like we'll talk about it later. Let's stay on the game, guys.
Yeah. You don't want to do like your sales pitch preemptively, right?
Yeah.
Like that should be, the end of your challenge, because you don't want to preemptively do a sales pitch and they haven't made it all the way through the challenge. So they're not at that self-belief stage yet. So don't do it ahead of time, because if they're not ready for it, then immediately it's going to be a no. But if they've made it all the way to the end and they're like, I'm so excited, I accomplished all these things, I totally feel like I can do this. Yes, please tell me what you have to offer.
I love it. It's so magic. I got some really great ones here. Okay. Best way, I think it was Suzanne who was asking this. Best way to promote a paid challenge to Facebook friends without appearing pushy.
Interesting.
I think you did an amazing job with this, with all those testimonials you put together.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, because I've up until this point, I've only done free challenges. However, in the new year, I know that one of those free challenges is going to turn into a paid one. But I like how you bring up the testimonials, because then it's not just you talking about it. It's like all your people talking about it. So then, yeah.
I
don't
think
know.
one of the best ways to do it is just share the success stories of the people that have gone through either your previous challenge, like if you had this exact same challenge before, or you had something similar, or just talk about the success of your people. So transformation stories are everything, the before and after. When you go on, you celebrate your clients, you celebrate how awesome they are, you celebrate the wins that they have. It's not you being like, go get by my challenge. It's you being like, oh my gosh, like Sarah really, she wanted to look great in her wedding dress. Like she came and she worked with me. Sorry, this is probably a totally irrelevant topic, but you get what I'm saying, where it's like, yeah, I'm so honored to be
actually
part of
totally
her
relevant.
Oh, it's totally relevant. Of course you're getting married. So when you're able to just like celebrate your people on Facebook, it gets people excited to be like, I want that. Like, how did they do that? I want that too. Can I do that? Can you help me with that too? So it creates this really natural, easy way for people to see what you do. It's not you being pushy. You can drop a link. You can't drop a link. Facebook has been extremely testy with all this sort of stuff. You can always say, DM me. But yeah, just seeding those stories, all that sort of stuff is one of the best ways that you can get other people excited about what you're doing. And it's so easy and effortless because it's just fun to talk about other people who are doing cool stuff in their life.
And you can get challenge testimonials. Like if you've done it before, I do know the one that I post a lot of testimonials for, like she will send out like Facebook messages being like, hey, how's the challenge? What do you think? And people like send these glowing messages back, and then we just copy, paste, put it on a pretty little Canva doc, and then we have challenge testimonials, or we take screenshots from, the previous posts, or, to mix it up. So she does challenge ones and program ones. And so for the program ones, she gets people on a live video. Suddenly you have a video testimonial.
Yeah, and those are so powerful, especially because now you got a video testimonial, which you can turn into a written testimonial, and you can put that on a pretty Canva thing, and it's like, you get all of this out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have another great question from Suzanne. She's asking about the best way to start with Facebook ads with a budget of $100 or less.
So it's tricky because Facebook ads are not my specialty, but
I can speak to that if you want, though.
As I say, correct me if I'm wrong. I think like the video view ads are cheaper. And really, like if you can get video view ads, get them to your page, get them into your group, then you can post all you want about your free challenge in your group. And it builds your list. But yeah, why don't you talk about that? I think Facebook ads are more your specialty than mine.
Yeah, so Facebook ads are definitely expensive at the moment. Like I don't know exactly what your niche is, but yeah, $100 does not take you very far. But definitely what Sarah was saying, that the video views are the cheapest at the moment. These things change. But if you can get them inexpensively, like if you do like a lead ad or conversion ad, those tend to be pricier. But if you're able to at least put some really great high value content out there that naturally attracts them in, sometimes the best ads that I've done for leads or for not leads recently, I just put value content out there and stories, and then people are interested, so they click through to my profile and end up signing up for my list. Another thing that you want to do is cover your booty in terms of making some income on the side. Have an upsell on the back end. So at least that way you can hopefully have a self-liquidating funnel. So give them a really great one-time offer. So that way it will help cover some of the costs, because yeah, $100 does not take you super far at this moment, but definitely when you are able to combine your free, your organic marketing, if you have your people who've gone through a challenge before, that they would have friends who would be right for this challenge, ask if they would promote for you. Maybe even they get an affiliate revenue for your paid challenge, even if it's like, $5-10 sort of thing. For some people, that can end up actually being quite a lot, especially if they have some people for you. So yeah, when you're able to think outside the box and not just like give Facebook all your money, that can be one of the best ways to do it. And another thing, this is how actually I've grown a lot of my list, is I love being a guest expert in different groups because I love chatting. So see if you can create connections with other people who don't have this, not obviously the same product. They're not a competitor, sorry, words. But they have the same audience as you. So ask if you can do like a Facebook Live for them or something in their group, like a free training. That can give you exposure to the right people for free. And oftentimes you can even get paid for that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I like what you said about the upsell. I've seen that work a lot. Even if it doesn't fully cover the cost of the ads, that just means you can put more into them. So
yeah, and it gives you so much breathing room. You're not like, oh gosh, every person costs me so much.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've got another great question for you, and I think we have some other good ones in the comments after. So best way to keep challengers super engaged and ready to buy at the end. Oh my gosh, Sarah, this is so you.
Yes. Okay, that's why I always say Facebook group. Whether you already have an established one or you make a pop-up group, but make sure that you make it super, super simple for them to like immediately like post themselves. So I always encourage that, you make daily prompts and say, and like give them an incentive for posting. So you can run like, giveaways, prizes, like an accountability contest, but make it really, really easy for them to engage, and then go and comment on every single comment. And then you're boosting your engagement in that group. And then people will get notifications when other people post, and then they're commenting, and then it's like everybody's flowing and everybody's collecting the energy. But yeah.
And you get some like serious organic marketing from that too.
Yep. Yeah. If you have like an existing group, then like that just boosts your engagement so much. That's what I love about challenges.
That's so good. I love that. And the giveaway thing that you were mentioning, oh my gosh, that's like never underestimate the awesomeness of a giveaway, you guys. Like I cannot tell you enough.
Yeah, people go crazy for Amazon gift cards or, self-help books, like even simple things.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be too crazy. Like make it relevant, I think is the key thing. Like just find something that your person would love and give it to them. Like, yeah, I've gotten books from giveaways before, and I'm like, yes, a book. Even though I buy books all the time, it doesn't matter. It's like, I love it. It's perfect for me.
Yeah, because if you give them an incentive to, do the challenge and post about it, and then you get in there and you're engaging with them, you're doing like, a little bit of minor coaching in there, then it makes them want to continue over and above the prizes. So.
Let's see here. I had another question from somebody. Oh, here's a good one from Carrie. Can you ask for the email in the questions to the access to the group? So it used to be that, or I think it's tricky. I don't think that you're always covering your noodle if you just grab somebody's email address from the questions that you ask to join the Facebook group. Like, especially if you have people from Europe and you have to have like the check mark and all that sort of stuff, or like for Canada, they need double opt-in, all this sort of stuff. So it's not enough. Like technically you can do it and you're probably not going to have a problem, but like you aren't covering yourself. So I wouldn't say do that, because yeah, you do open yourself up to liability. What you can do is if you have like a paid group that people signed up for, sometimes I will ask like, what's the email that you used to sign up? Because sometimes they will give 2 different email addresses and you're like, is this the same person? That's usually when I will ask a question about emails in the Facebook group pop-up.
And I'll also point out another thing. with challenges, automation is everything. You don't want to put extra work on yourself because if we're being honest, challenges are a lot of work. So if your sign up is them putting their email in the Facebook questions and then you have to go and manually input every person, that takes so much extra brain space, so much extra time. Whereas if you create a landing page and have them opt in, it automatically goes in and then you don't have to do it every time. Don't create more work for yourself.
Thank goodness. And that actually leads to my last question for you, Sarah.
Excellent.
How can we make it easier on ourselves? Because we've already gone through all the things. We need to have the landing page. We need to be doing Insta stories. We need to be posting organically on social media. We need to be having the challenge itself, having engagement questions, doing giveaways, commenting on comments replying to comments within the posts in the group, making all of the assets in order to run the challenge. So like all of the images and everything. So how can we make all of this easier? Because that's a lot of stuff.
Yes. So it's the same thing. Like, how can we make anything easier? You cannot, you can't clone yourself and you cannot add more than 24 hours in a day. So hire somebody. 2 brains are more efficient than 1. You want to do all the things, then that's awesome, but you will burn yourself out at the end of the free challenge and you will not have enough to give to your program. So hire somebody, get them to do all the things so that you can just show up live, coach your people, stay in your zone of genius, and then you still have the energy to coach in your actual paid program.
Yeah, because that's the important thing too, is that this is just the beginning. You also have something to deliver on at the end of it. So you gotta you really gotta blinkers on and stay focused. And Sarah is one of those amazing people that do all of the behind the scenes things. And as you can see, and you probably already know because you might have run a challenge before, there's a lot of stuff. And just having a regular VA is usually not cutting it because there are so many specific things in order to make a challenge launch work. So that's what makes having a challenge launch integrator so awesome, because they know right off the back of their hand exactly what needs to be done. Even if you're running your challenge for the first time, like Sarah has her whole list of all the stuff where it's like, here's all my things, hand it over, and I will help do the things for you and just take that stress rate off of you.
Yeah, and there's different, you can make it as small or as big as you want. So if you're doing a first time challenge, there's a list of things that are, an absolute must if you're going to run a bare bones challenge. And then as you go on, you add the things.
Yeah.
But if you've never done a challenge before, you don't know all the things that could go in it until suddenly you're like, oh, we need that thing. So yeah.
Exactly. Let your challenge grow with you. Don't feel like you have to do absolutely everything. And also hire someone so you don't have to do it all yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, because really, coaching itself takes so much work, so much brain power, and really, in a challenge, yes, it's free, but by the end, you only have 3 to 5 days to show these people that you're the one that they want to hire. If you don't impress them at the end of those 3 to 5 days, then you're not going to get the sales. So do you need to be doing the back end stuff? No. You need to be doing the front end stuff. And that takes a lot of work in itself. Lots of brain power.
Yeah. One of the biggest things I always say is creating space for people is one of the biggest, most important things that a challenge is about. Just creating that space for them, supporting them through the transformation. And that is one of those things that it's not on any checklist, but it's so important. And you only have that time and capacity if you've actually handed off all the other stuff. So, and do as much in advance and use automation to the fullest extent.
Yeah, you don't want to get to day 1 and be like, oh, I have all these things that I need to think about. So you're sitting on the back end while your challenge is supposed to be running. And then suddenly, it's the end of the day and you haven't been doing your challenge. That's
and you're still in active campaign, gotta make sure this link is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be like that. Sarah, thank you so much for coming on. This conversation has been so amazing. I don't know if you've been reading the comments, but we're getting so many great stuff. You're gonna have to read through it. She was like there's such great, people are loving this. So I really, really so appreciate you coming on and sharing your genius. And where can people find you?
Probably the best place to find me is on Instagram at SKE Creative Media, all one word, obviously. Soon I will have a landing page to my services, but we are having tech troubles yesterday, so I didn't get it up and going. So yeah, find me on Instagram. That's the easiest place.
And you've just been too busy having people successfully launch. So
back-to-back,
you know what?
Back-to-back launches. Yeah.
all the other things will come into place. But hey, when you're just too busy, helping people make bank,
It's true.
The rest of it will come together eventually.
Yep, exactly.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining. I loved all of your questions. I really appreciated having you on live. It was so fun, and I'm sure that you loved this conversation with Sarah just as much as I did. So have a wonderful night, everybody. And Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.